friends, it's Miss Kathy. We all know about Mother's Day, Father's Day, maybe even Grandparents' Day, days set aside to tell our parents and our grandparents how much we love and appreciate them. But here in the U.S., we don't have a Children's Day. There is a country that does celebrate Children's Day, and it's a big holiday. We celebrate things like Valentine's Day and St. Patrick's Day, and those are small holidays. We might send a card or tell people we love them or wear green, but we still have to go to school and our parents have to go to work. Children's Day in this country, schools are closed, moms and dads usually don't have to go to work, there's lots of decorations. Do you know what country this might be? This country is Japan. May 5th is Children's Day in Japan. Let me tell you a little bit about Children's Day. So have a look over here.
Children's Day used to be Boys' Day. Families with boys would display miniature samurai armor and fly carp banners. Why carp? Because carp are strong and persistent and can swim upstream, even up waterfalls. And parents wanted their boys to be strong like the carp. Girls have their own day on March 3rd called Hinamatsuri. Families with girls display dolls that represent the royal court and have a tea party. Families still celebrate Girls' Day, but it's not a holiday. Today, May 5th is known as Children's Day, and it's for both boys and girls. It is a day to celebrate all children and to pray for their health and well-being.
So families still put up carp banners. They start with a giant colorful windsock, and then there's a big black carp for Dad, and the character on the dad carp here is Kintaro, a famous character from Japanese folklore. I'll read you the story in a little bit. And then there are smaller carp for Mom and all the kids in the family. Let me tell you the story of Kintaro.
Mukashi mukashi, that is, long, long ago, there was a boy who lived with his mother on Mount Ashigara. His name was Kintaro. From the day he was born, Kintaro was very strong, and he grew even stronger as he got older. By the time he was 8 years old, Kintaro was able to cut down trees as quickly as the woodcutters. Kintaro wore a red haragake, which is a kind of clothing worn by small children long ago, that his mother had made for him, emblazoned with the character kin, which means gold. Because Kintaro and his mother lived far off in the mountains, there were no other children for Kintaro to play with, so his friends were the creatures of the mountains, such as rabbits, bears, and tanuki. The friends often played sumo together, but no one could ever beat Kintaro. One day, the bear, who was very proud of his strength, decided to take Kintaro on, saying, "I'll wrestle you." But Kintaro won. One afternoon, Kintaro and his friends were wandering the mountains when they came to the bank of a big river. They looked, but did not find a way to get across. They all wondered how they could get across the river. So Kintaro leaned against the tree and began to push with all his might. He pushed once and the tree began to move. He pushed again. With the third push, the roots gave way, and with a loud crack, the tree fell over and spanned the river. "Hooray!" shouted all of Kintaro's friends. Just then, a voice called out from behind, saying, "What incredible strength!" When Kintaro turned around to look, he saw a great samurai. The samurai said to Kintaro, "Your strength is incredible, but can you beat me? Let's arm wrestle and find out." So Kintaro and the samurai both put out their arms and grasped each other's hands. For a long time, Kintaro and the samurai wrestled together, each trying to bend the other's arm. But the pair was evenly matched. At last, the samurai declared the match a tie. "You are indeed a very strong child," said the samurai. "There are few men who can boast of strength such as mine. I was hardly able to believe my eyes when I saw you on the bank of the river, when you pushed over that large tree to make a bridge. Your strength of arm, which I have just tried, proves what I saw. When you are full grown, you will surely be the strongest man in all Japan. Won't you please come with me and train as a warrior?" "Can I really become a warrior?" Kintaro asked. "Of course you can," said the samurai. "One day you'll become a magnificent warrior." Kintaro returned home and said to his mother, "O-母-san, I really want to become a great warrior." His mother said to him, "I'm sure you'll be a splendid warrior." She turned to the samurai and said, "You are very kind to take an interest in my son, but he is, as you see, wild and uneducated, with animals for friends. Because of his great strength as an infant, I hid him away here in the mountains. I have often wished that some day I would see my son as a samurai, but I fear my dream will never come true." The samurai replied, "By good fortune, I have unexpectedly come across your son. If you really wish him to be a samurai, I will take him and train him as a warrior. What do you say to this?" As the kind samurai unfolded his plan, Kintaro's mother's heart was filled with great joy. She saw that this was a wonderful chance for her greatest wish to be fulfilled, that of seeing Kintaro as a samurai before she died. Bowing, she replied, "I will then entrust my son to you if you really mean what you say." Kintaro had all this time been standing by his mother's side, listening to what they said. When his mother finished speaking, he exclaimed, "Oh joy, oh joy! I am to go to the capital, and one day I shall be a samurai!" Kintaro said goodbye to his mother and his animal friends before heading off to the capital. "Mother," he said, "thank you for raising and taking care of me. I will never forget your kindness. When I am a samurai, I will come back and get you." After Kintaro grew up, he became one of the greatest heroes in Japan, a powerful warrior called Sakata Kintoki, who defeated an ogre living on Mount Oe. Kintaro then sent for his mother. He built her a house in the capital, and the two of them lived together happily till the end of her days. Owari. The end.
Kintaro is still a very popular and well-known folktale character in Japan. So much so that someone even sent me a baby bib with the Kintaro symbol on it when my kids were babies. Ready to make a samurai helmet of your own? All you need is one large square of newspaper, either regular everyday newspaper, or if you want it to be a little more colorful, you can use the Sunday comics. Either one will work. If you use the regular paper, you can, when you're finished, color it with markers or color pencils or crayons. To make your origami samurai helmet, start by folding your newspaper into a big triangle. The long folded side towards you. Take one of the corners and bring it up to the top. Take the other corner and bring it up to the top. You should now have a big square. Open end towards you. Take one of the bottom points and bring it up to the top point. Take the other bottom point, bring it up to the top. You've now got a sheet that looks like this. Take the top point and turn it out and fold it so that it looks like that. Do the same with the other point. All right, so now it looks like that. Take your bottom point, bring it up towards the top, not all the way to the top, but about there. Fold it, give it a good crease. Fold it up one more time to make the brim of your helmet. Flip the whole thing over. Bring that last point up towards the top. Again, not all the way. Crease it. Fold it up to make that last bit of brim. And now you have your very own origami samurai helmet. A traditional treat that you might eat on Children's Day or other Japanese holidays is mochi. Mochi is made from a sticky variety of rice that is cooked and then pounded and pounded and pounded until it becomes this thick, gooey paste. And then it is put into soups, it is broiled, and then sprinkled with soy sauce or soybean powder. It is made into sweets. And a really tasty traditional treat is called daifuku mochi. The mochi is shaped into little round balls, and it is filled with a sweet red bean paste. These days you can find non-traditional varieties such as strawberry, kiwi, pineapple, and those are my kids' favorites way to eat it, is with the sweet fruit paste in the inside. And I'm going to show you how to make a non-traditional sweet fruit mochi. To make Jello Mochi, you need a regular 3-ounce package of Jello, 1 cup of mochiko. I buy this at the Japanese market by my house, but I'm pretty sure you can buy it at Jewel. Don't buy ordinary rice flour. It won't work for this recipe. It has to be sweet rice flour. Right? You'll need 1 cup of that. You also need 1/3 of a cup of sugar. You mix all that together until it's pretty well blended. Then you add 1 cup of hot water. And 1 teaspoon of vanilla. When it's pretty well blended, you're going to cover it with a piece of plastic wrap and pop it in the microwave for a minute, and then you'll check on it. After you've put it in the microwave for 1 minute, take it out, give it a good stir, mix it up well, and then put it back in 1-minute increments for about 3 to 5 minutes until it becomes pretty thick. When you take it out of the microwave for the last time, took 3 minutes in my microwave, give it a good stir, and then you're going to put it on a parchment-lined, starch-dusted cookie sheet. I happen to have potato starch in my house, but cornstarch works just as well. So sprinkle it on the cookie sheet, spread your mochi out, and then you're going to want to dust your hands as well so that the mochi doesn't stick to your fingers. It's really sticky. And give it a good pat. You want it to be, about 1/2 inch thick or so. Right? And when you get it all patted out, right, you're going to take a knife and you're going to cut it into squares. And then once you have it cut into squares, you'll take one of those little squares and make it fancy, roll it into a little ball, a little circle, and that's it. It's pretty simple, easy to make, and enjoy. I hope you have a chance to make the strawberry mochi. It really is pretty tasty. So maybe you're wondering how I know so much about Japan. Well, a long time ago, back when I was in high school, I was an AFS exchange student to Japan. What that means is I left my home and I left my family, and I lived in Japan for 1 year with a Japanese family and went to Japanese high school. And twice more after that, I went back to live in Japan. I lived in Japan for a total of 8 years. So I learned a little something about their holidays and their customs, and even some of the language. So I want to finish by sharing with you a Japanese song for Children's Day about the carp banners that as they fly high in the sky above the rooftops, they look kind of like fish swimming in the sea. 屋根より高い鯉のぼり大きい孫いはお父さん小さい鯉は子供たち面白そうに泳いでる
If you'd like to learn more about Children's Day or make your own carp banner, here are some links. And if you'd like to learn more about Japan or read some Japanese folk tales, there are some books available on both Hoopla and Overdrive.